Hello, good morning. Welcome to Gaming Insight Daily for Friday, June 7th, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. Is it June 7th? No, sorry, June 6th. I got that wrong. June 6th, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have coffee from McDonald's this morning. Because of the chaos of just the past few days of just trying to be able to cover Summer Game Fest and Nintendo Switch stuff, I haven't had time to be able to get groceries, so I'm basically just I'm running off of McDonald's caffeine today. It ain't bad though. I always do love me a McDonald's coffee, especially here in Canada. All right, so today it's all about kind of my first impressions so far of the Switch 2. This is beyond kind of my preview impressions when I went to the Switch 2 experience, because I only had a limited amount of time to be able to play with the Switch, but now I've had some hands-on. If you were watching the stream last night, thank you so much for checking it out. I was streaming basically kind of my first sort of foray into the Switch 2. Also, if you haven't checked out my unboxing video and a look at the accessibility menu on the Switch 2, make sure to be able to check out that video. I think I'll have a link here or in the description down below as well. And so after the first few hours of playing with the Switch 2, which I can say I have right here. Love it, love it. Although I will say it is kind of warm to the touch. I have not, this is the first time I've had it today, or like literally the first time I grabbed it, and it feels warm to the touch. And it's been in the dock the entire time. And currently it's at 91%. But I purposely set it to that. Because you can set it to where it stops charging at that point. Let me see if I can actually be able to change that. Because I want to be able to, because I was like, I understand why. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna keep it at that. I don't know if that's helping it or that's worsening it or not, but essentially, yeah, I have my. I mean, it's not warm as in like too hot to the touch. It just is noticeably warm, as if I've been kind of using it for a couple of minutes. So I don't know whether that's sort of how that's supposed to be on the Switch 2, but it does kind of feel, yeah, but like when it's docked, it feels a bit warm, and not sure how I feel about that. Because I think the previous Switch did not have that problem. So I don't know if that's just sort of a first time thing, or if that's just how the dock is. I don't know. That is sort of my first thoughts. I will say I have not played it in handheld mode as of yet. It's mostly been just docked and playing it from last night, and going through the settings and setting all the things that I needed to, which is basically kind of having it in large text, having it in dark mode, or at least a dark theme, as it were, and turning on text to speech. I think it definitely, and adjusting the speed to that, it works for when you're navigating the system, but there's other areas where, unfortunately, the screen reader just does not work. The eShop being one of them. When you do have the screen reader on, or text to speech on, it stops. It does not read whenever you have the Nintendo eShop open, which is kind of a shame. It does say that basically it does kind of give a little message saying that screen reader is not available in the eShop, something along those lines. But it tells you that, but unfortunately, if you're trying to be able to like find a game, that's kind of almost where it's the most crucial, especially when you're trying to navigate the OS. And I'm kind of sad that it basically does not work in there. I kind of wish, yeah, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in that. Not to say I didn't expect it to, or I'm surprised by it, because this is Nintendo's first foray into accessibility. Actually having an accessibility menu is something that they've never done before. So I think that as much as I would like to say that yes, this is an improvement for again, this is a big push for Nintendo right now. They've also committed to the accessibility tags initiative, which they do not have in the eShop right now, but that takes a lot longer. Like, honestly, like I'm for those who kind of were hoping that it would appear on the Switch 2 eShop of all the accessibility tags that that were set up or announced at GDC with Nintendo on the panel. I didn't actually expect that it would, because knowing how much time it takes and how much resources and how many departments have to be involved in order to be able to change the eShop and or basically arrange to have a whole section added for specifically accessibility, that's something that's going to take a lot longer than going from March to June, essentially, to launch the system. So there's a lot more priorities that kind of had to be in place before they could be able to enable that. But they did make Nintendo on their website has said they made a commitment to including the tags, so that it will be coming in the future. It's just we just don't know when. I think that there is momentum there for Nintendo to do more accessibility. It's just it is slower than I think what people had expected. I think they kind of were half expecting that Nintendo was just going to go full in on accessibility for the launch of the Switch 2, and that was going to be that. But in reality, it kind of looks like that it's just small steps forward, which are still steps forward, just not as much as we had hoped. So to see that the screen readers, like the text to speech, doesn't read in the eShop, there's no accessibility tags in there, and also the screen reader does not work within the games themselves. I think that, and nor did I expect it to, because it's the same on Xbox and PlayStation. They don't they have a screen reader built into the OS, but it never reads on the game itself. So that's something that I think. There's a lot of more technical reasons as to why that is the case, but I would say like the thing that what fails is mostly because of the eShop. I think that the fact that the screen reader does not read in that is a big crucial part. And I think that is where it is a step behind PlayStation and Xbox in that regard. So yeah, it's sad to see, but there are multiple reasons I can see why that they weren't able to include it. It's disappointing still, but I'm not totally surprised. There are some things that I did notice that were kind of like really neat little touches. So so one thing I noticed was you can be able to set the remapping, control remapping to the quick menu. If you push down and hold on the home button for a little bit, it actually will bring up like that sort of side menu that allows you to put the Switch to an airplane mode or just the brightness and all that stuff. But if you can also enable that, you can edit the remapping in that shortcut menu, which is actually really cool. So it's kind of, don't have to go directly from this back to the home screen to settings and accessibility or just controls. Like, you can be able to like go directly to that, which is really nice. Also, if you do have a Pro controller with the back paddle, actually I have the Pro controller here. So the new Pro controller has these back paddles here that you can kind of see. It's kind of here we go, focus. So it's kind of inset into the grip itself. One of the things you can also do is that you can enable where you can be able to in any time or whenever you're in a game, you push them down to hold the home button. You can be able to remap these buttons to whichever you like. Now it is game specific, so it's not a universal. You can set a universal in the settings for the controls to be able to, so I have it remapped to pushing down L3 and R3. But if you want to be able to specifically have those buttons be kind of a specific remap within the game itself, you can be able to set that. So say for instance in Mario Kart, if you want to be able to set your accelerate button, which is A, to one of the back paddle buttons, you can totally do that. And I tried it for a bit, felt kind of weird, felt like I was like kind of really gripping on the really kind of like holding down on the grip on the one side and where it's not on the other. So there was that, but it essentially so I did change it back to just pushing A, and I also did have drift on the other back paddle. I think it works. I think it works fine. It's just I definitely felt like that I was actually kind of almost pushing too hard on it where I don't think I needed to. So it felt a little bit uncomfortable after a while, but so I did remap it back. But I like that little extra touch. Like basically you can be able to remap those buttons to game specific within the home sort of slide, like kind of special menu, whatever they call it, the side menu, shortcut menu, I don't know. So that was an additional sort of an accessibility thing that I kind of noticed that was a nice touch. Now playing with with Mario Kart and Zelda Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, so Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Mario Kart, there isn't that much accessibility that I could be able to tell from that. There is a kind of all your general assists that we've seen in Mario Kart 8. I'd say like probably a little bit more enhanced a little bit to kind of help help you if you do need it, or if you have like kids essentially that you just want to be able to get like, but let them play Mario Kart without having to worry about them basically not knowing how to steer, or not knowing how to brake, or not falling off a ledge, that kind of thing. You can be able to enable that within Mario Kart World, and that's fine. I do think the interface is decently large for the most part. I didn't really notice anything that was that seemed like the UI was kind of small. But then again, I was playing it on a 50-inch TV literally a foot and a half away from me, so your results may vary in that regard, but I felt that it was definitely suited for a handheld and also a TV docked experience. I think playing Mario Kart it's like playing any other Mario Kart. I think as far as the difference or what my opinion is on Mario Kart World versus 8 Deluxe, I do feel like that there is some future that I could see where Mario Kart World will be better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but right now it kind of feels a bit empty in some areas, especially the free roam. When you're kind of driving around, there's not much to be able to do. Yeah, there's like these secret areas and these secret sort of like challenges you can be able to do if you find like a POW button, that kind of thing, or if you find like these meal icons essentially, or meal kind of item box. It kind of unlocks some new clothing or new outfits for characters. I think that's cool, but it does feel a bit empty. I will say that, and there's no navigational assist to help you drive around, which is unfortunate. So it definitely, for blind players, it may not be the best like to definitely do free roam. Going into the races, I think if you have those assists on, it definitely could help, and I think it would could do okay. But if you had trouble trying to be able to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe before, you probably are not going to get any improvement in Mario Kart World as far as the accessibility is concerned. Jumping into Tears of the Kingdom, I was able to enable the essentially I'll bring it up on my phone here because they have the Zelda notes app that's built into it. So basically I have it here. So it's like it was a menu item. Actually I can go back, close all the notes. Okay, so basically you need to use the Nintendo Switch app, and it will be kind of on. It's a button that's on the front or on the home page, and the game specific services. So basically, you tap on Zelda Notes, and then you can decide on you can click on which game that you want to be able to click on, which is either Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. And when you load it up, come on, there we go. It kind of acts like a little I want to see a text message. And also notification, sorry. It has basically a kind of a home, like an iPhone like screen. And one of the things that I did notice, and this is something I knew about, obviously, that come beforehand with the announcement, was the navigation. There is a built-in map into this. Now I don't have the game open right now to be able to play it, but you can kind of see the map at least a little bit on the screen here. Oh wait, come on, focus. There we go. And you can see I have like I have the basically filtered to towns or villages, but if I kind of select out of that, you can categorize any of things you're specifically looking for. And so let's see, Shrines of Light. So I've got that selected, and you can see that there are a ton of Shrines of Light around the main map. So if I zoom out, you can see there's a ton of them. Like what's cool though is the audio navigation to them. So if you tap on a shrine, Now the button is disabled right now because I don't have the game open, but if you tap on any icon essentially that's on the map, you can be able to tap a little button that says activate voice guidance. And what that does is it does essentially an audio GPS to direct you where you can go, which I think is actually great for blind players. I know there's a lot of things that are still broken with that game. There's no screen reader, the text size isn't large enough, and there is a lot of things that are not fully accessible for blind players in both Legend of Zelda games for the Switch. But I did try out the feature where basically I just navigated to a shrine and had audio navigation on, and it works. It legitimately works. It would kind of it follows along where you are, which is really cool. And it almost updates it in real time. It's like pretty close to real time, and it'll give you just audio GPS navigation. It kind of does either please proceed northwest, and it will kind of there's no compass on it, so you kind of have to travel for a bit and notice if you're going the wrong way, or so there's nothing that kind of it can point the camera directly to where you need to go, but so it is a little bit you have to kind of play around with it in order to be able to get it to fully work. But when you are going in the right direction, it will basically kind of say please proceed, or please proceed north, south, east, west. It kind of gives you that audio GPS, and then when you do arrive at your destination, you can be able to it'll tell you that you're there, and it does work. I pretty much was following along with it without really kind of focusing on the screen, because I had to have the phone up to my microphone when I was streaming it, so that the chat could hear it, and I just had my left stick going, so I couldn't even move the camera to see if I was going the right direction. So so when I was navigating, I wasn't sure where I was going. The only thing I could tell what was happening was I could hear that there was enemies that were about to attack me, but I just kept running, and they were able to leave me alone. So there was that, but it directed me to whatever that shrine was to kind of test it out. Now I haven't fully tested out everything in regards to it, so they're definitely but I definitely see that, and there are some areas, again, there's no compass in the games, and there's no you have to kind of play around with it. Okay, if it says please go northwest, and you think you're going potentially northwest, and in reality you're kind of going southwest, it will redirect you, but I think that it's still it still has some bugs and quirks, but it's not bad. It definitely isn't as bad as as I thought it might have been, because it is an app that's doing it. So yeah, it is a companion app. It's not built into the game itself. I wish it was that would have been better for accessibility, but this as an option on a game that doesn't have a lot of accessibility built in, I think that's a kind of a cool idea. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that's that I haven't even tried out for Zelda Notes yet that I thought was pretty cool, that I'm looking forward to trying out, the whole Zelda audio files or audio journal, essentially, that kind of stuff too. So I'm looking forward to, because I want to be able to restart my Tears of the Kingdom game, because it's been literally 2 years since I played it last, and I can't remember half of what I've done, or even the controls half the time. So I think better to be able to just start from scratch again, and I want to be able to do that now, trying out with my Zelda Notes companion app, which is kind of cool. So yeah. And then as far that's pretty much it. I haven't really tried out a bunch of other games or anything else as of yet. The virtual cards seem pretty simple. If you do have a game that is linked to another console, you do have to have that available, if you didn't transfer anything over. So you do have to kind of do the wireless transfer. But it was pretty simple to do. It wasn't a huge sort of a hassle essentially to do that. But I think that was the only digital, I did it for Tears of the Kingdom, and it was the only digital game that I had purchased. Pretty much a majority of my other games are all physical copies, so I have cartridges for pretty much all of them. But the games that are digital to download from the eShop, the virtual card seems fine. I still don't really understand the kind of the full purpose of them, because I play by my the Switch is mine. It's not that I'm using a family plan, or I have other people in my family to play to share the games with, so I'm not using half of what the virtual game cards are supposed to be, but it works. It works okay. As far as other games that are on the Switch 2, I haven't downloaded any of the other ones as of yet. I've just only been able to play Mario Kart World and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to get a copy of Cyberpunk. Wait, and I just got it. Yay! Okay, cool. I literally just got it now as an email. I have a code for Cyberpunk 2077 for the Switch 2. So thank you very much, CD Projekt Red, for doing that. I will be doing I'll be checking that out because I know that there was an accessibility menu when I tried it out the Switch 2 experience. So thank you, CD Projekt Red. That was cool actually. That came through right as I was recording this. This is great. So, and you're kind of wondering also as well, kind of a little bit of a news story. There is a little bit of like within literally 24 hours, as far as we're kind of seeing a little bit of what is deemed the sort of the top selling game, Switch 2 games on the Switch 2, or at least according to the eShop. And we have that here. So this is actually, I'm pulling this from IGN, by the way, by Tom Phillips. I'm not reading the whole article, but I'm jumping down to the sort of the chart here. For those who are listening to this and not reading this, you'll know what the top is, but I'm going to read it down from 10 to 1. Actually, sorry, I'll start from 15 because top 15. So Hogwarts Legacy is 15. Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition is number 14. Hitman World of Assassination is 13. Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition is 12. Street Fighter 6 years 1 to 2 Fighters Edition is number 11. Yakuza 0 is number 10. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster is number 9. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time is number 8. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Upgrade Pack is number 7. Deltarune is number 6. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Upgrade Pack is number 5. Now you may be wondering, okay, what is the difference between the Upgrade Pack and the Switch 2 Edition? So if you buy the Switch 2 Edition, you get everything. You get the base game and also the Switch 2 upgrade along with it. But the upgrade packs are the ones that are, or if you already own the system or own the games themselves, and you can spend, I think it's $15 Canadian to be able to get the upgrade pack, or it's free if you have the expansion, the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack subscription. That's technically free to download. So that's why you see Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom both on here twice. But that's the difference, is that Switch 2 editions are the full versions of the game, and the upgrade packs are the ones that are that you've already purchased the game and you're just downloading the upgrade pack for the Switch 2. So yeah, number 5 is Tears of the Kingdom upgrade pack. Number 4, Fast Fusion. Number 3, Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which is very surprising because there was a lot of people making fun of that game, and or a lot of people kind of complaining that it was a $10 game, but hey, it's number 3 on the list. And then number 2, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, and of course, number 1, Mario Kart World. Now, this isn't all the 23 games that were released yesterday. So, Split Fiction is one that was released yesterday that is not on here. So it's kind of interesting to see. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, okay. So I was wondering kind of about the Hogwarts Legacy thing. So there is also a $10 upgrade if you have the original Switch version of Hogwarts Legacy. You can be able to upgrade that as well to the Switch 2. So yeah, okay, all right. You know, it makes sense. Mario Kart World is pretty much going to be the main game for a while. I think until we start getting more Switch 2 games from Nintendo, people are going to be playing Mario Kart World. It was the top selling game on the Switch, so makes total sense like that they would launch with it as well. So anyway, that's kind of like my full sort of like first impressions of the Switch 2. I think I've kind of covered pretty much everything that folks have kind of been asking me about. I didn't have a call out as far as like what questions do you have for the Switch 2? I'm actually just about to I'm bringing up my comments now from YouTube just to see if there was any other questions that I might have missed. Okay, there was a question about, can you see if Animal Crossing works with text to speech? I don't think it probably will. I haven't downloaded Animal Crossing, but considering the fact that the text to speech does not go into the games themselves, I would say probably Animal Crossing will not work with text to speech. There was a question about eShop. I've already answered that. It does not work with screen reader. And I think that's kind of really it. Could you test if dark mode still is on in the eShop? Yes, it is. The dark mode does work in eShop, so you don't have to worry about it basically being super bright on your eyes kind of deal. And so I think that was pretty much it for questions that I saw from the comments. So, by the way, if you do have any other comments about the Switch 2 that you want me to still keep checking out, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to be able to answer them as best I can. So, anyway, that's it for me. I'm gonna watch the Summer Game Fest live show that's happening today. I don't know whether I'll have the reaction up on YouTube, but I'll be definitely streaming it over on twitch.tv/Steve Saylor. I'm actually looking to be able to stream more on this channel, especially for video game stuff, because I'm transitioning into this YouTube channel is going to be focused on accessibility in video games, and my Twitch channel is going to be focusing on accessibility in tabletop games. So at some point, I will actually start doing gaming streams here on this channel, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm going to be streaming just on Twitch for the time being. So anyway, that's going to be it for me. Take care. Have yourself a great weekend. I'll have more news on Monday, because we'll have the Xbox showcase to be able to talk about. And yeah, stay tuned for that. So, and then the other announcements that happens over the weekend. So take care. Have a good one, and I'll see you all Monday, or potentially this weekend. Bye bye.